asked to remove himself from his place of residence. That request came from his wife.
Go.
Deep down, he knew she was right, but he also knew that someday he would return to her.
I don't know why. Why would you think that?
He appeared at the home of his friend Oscar Madison. Several years earlier, Madison's wife had thrown him out, requesting that he never return.
Yes, over with.
Can two divorced men share an apartment without driving each other crazy?
Not a shot. Worse than that, they would each contribute to their own bad behavior. And probably just like month-old Pete's, it'd be like a fraternity house. That would be terrible. Month-old Pete's on the table, empty beer cans. What's the old line from Animal House? Fat, drunk, and stupid's no way to go through life, son. We're talking about 30, 40, 50-year-olds that are divorced. Yeah, you right. Thursday afternoon. This is some absurdly good weather, huh? San Diego, Honolulu type stuff continues. The 5th straight weekend of great weather. We're right on the brink of that. That'll crank up tomorrow. That little cool blast we had sort of fizzling out. Tonight will be Coolio and the gang. So will tomorrow morning, but then it's going to kind of warm up. Maybe like 80 degrees over the weekend, but sunny and lower than normal humidity. Like right now, I mean, we woke up this morning, it was like on the North Shore around 35, 38 some places. South Shore, 48 degrees maybe. But then it warmed up rather quickly within a few hours. About 22, 23 degrees later. It's about 65, 66, 67 degrees out there now in New Orleans. But just 22% humidity. That's an absurdly low humidity number that we rarely see. 22%. So get outside and enjoy that stuff. Hey, you know what you could do? Go to Fausto's in 53 minutes. That's a no-brainer. Thursday night, maybe get dinner in early. Fausto's opens at 5. The sun will be out still. Why don't you get there at 5 and enjoy some outdoor dining in this ridiculously nice weather? Outdoor dining tonight at Fausto's. Or inside, sit at the bar, check out some sports action. They might have the Saints game on Amazon Prime Video. It's supposed to be free, I think. I don't think you have to pay to watch the game tonight. They got some trial period, or they're just giving New Orleanians the game or something. Give them a little taste of Amazon Prime, and maybe they'll end up going in that direction for their television viewing more often in the future. Hey, the 4 o'clock hour brought to you by Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. So good. Sicilian, Italian. Why don't you head on over there? They'll go till about 9 p.m. tonight. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Yeah, a little Saints action at Arizona in the desert. 7:15 kickoff. Thursday night football on Prime Video. Cardinals are favored by 2.5. Kind of a, I don't want to say desperation game, but pretty darn close to, quote, must win. I know. Corey, how do you get must win 6 games into the season? I hear you. Both teams are 2-4. I mean, the statistics only go down, but last week during the Saints loss, because Cincinnati had the same record as the Saints, 2-3. The team that wins, that gets to 3-3, there's like a 35% chance you make the playoffs. 1-3, just 1-3 for the team that won last week to get to 3-3, to get to 500 after 6 games. The team that falls to 2-4, like the Saints did, that playoff percentage drops to just 10%. Now, that's based off of a 16-game season. It's now a 17-game regular season, so you can jack up that percentage a little bit more. But it's like 12%. 11 games left. Saints have 2 victories. probably have to win go 9-2 down the stretch, 8-3 down the stretch to make the playoffs, something like that. The only blessing right now, just one game back of Atlanta, unbelievable, and Tampa 3-3 leading the division. The problem is Saints lose, those teams win. You're 2 back, 10 games left, blah, blah, blah. Just digging a hole. Thursday night football. Pels, what a great victory last night, taking care of the Nets on the road from the get-go. Kevin Durant, and just like Pels weren't even fazed by any of those superstars. Weren't even fazed. Zion Williamson just smiling, enjoying himself. Pels are 1-0. I think the only quarter they lost was the second, and just by a little, and ripped him in the first, ripped him in the third, won the fourth, won the game by, 20-ish. Pels at Charlotte tomorrow night. Then the home opener at the Smoothie King Center Sunday night, and it's sold out Sunday night. Yeah, you right. Hey, the mayor's nonprofit, this goes in the yeah, you right category. Probably the future landing spot for the mayor after her 15 minutes are done, either by recall or after the second term's over. This Forward Together NOLA nonprofit, the mayor screwed up, I guess got a little greedy. I don't know how you want to describe it. Yanked $1 million plus from the Wisner Foundation, that trust, and steered it towards her nonprofit. The council got wind of it. They asked the IG to look into it. The IG looked into it. Then the nonprofit got all paranoid and sort of locked down everything. And now a court has ordered. You remember Sean Randolph joining us on the program a few weeks ago? He was the acting head, the acting director. The court ordered him to step down. Don't do anything with checking accounts. Turn off the website. Another judge is going to rule on freeing up the $1 million back to this nonprofit that says they're going to give it back to the city, and then shut down the mayor's future gig, this nonprofit. Anyway, that's just good news. No, the mayor yanking money, $1 million plus from the Wisner Fund of city dollars to stick into her nonprofit. Just mind-blowing. It doesn't stop. A new city, new mayor of New Orleans planned for the Municipal Auditorium, LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell. This one might be all right. This isn't, trying to make it into City Hall. This one actually, benefits the Armstrong Park, the Treme neighborhood, Congo Square, the French Quarter. Everyone wins. Sort of a community center, concert venue, multiple thing, museum. It's sort of a smart idea. Sort of a smart idea. I like what I'm reading so far. Now, I don't know if it's good or bad. Totally got to see more of it, but it blows away. Let's retrofit a city hall in there. That was insane. That was insane. Hey, a UNO survey surveying New Orleans and Jefferson Parish citizens. Biggest concern in New Orleans about New Orleans crime. We'll fill you in on that survey in a little more detail. The Bond Commission, as expected, gave final approval on that $45 million Sewage and Water Board power plant project, a.k.a. the Jeff Landry anti-abortion law power plant project. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Quin Hillyer is going to join us. Was supposed to be another episode of Hillyer and Hennigan. Ellis Hennigan, kind of left-leaning liberal, had a prior engagement that popped up that I think there was just a communication problem between Ellis and the people, but something that he had committed to. So I was like, yeah, let's go do that. We'll get you next week. So, but I wanted to keep Quin on, and it's his conservative Republican view. So what? That's a good thing. They need representation. I was glad to see the Times-Picayune, NOLA.com, bring Quin in once a week on Sundays to write a column. Brilliant. No, long overdue. There's not enough conservative or Republican anything in New Orleans. You know how like Republicans nationwide have made like liberal and progressive a bad word? In New Orleans, Republican and conservative are the bad words. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning, speaking of New Orleans, a New Orleans institution since 1940. These guys aren't messing around. The biggest because they've always been the best. Lots of ways to experience Young's Dry Cleaning. Best way for you to figure out how it works for you? youngsdrycleaning.com, youngsdrycleaning.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com. Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool socks. NolaAC.com, your cool socks.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. Gorgeous day in New Orleans. Gorgeous day all over the Gulf South. That would include maybe a city that's more like New Orleans than any other. Mobile, Alabama. I don't think there's a city in Louisiana that's as New Orleans as Mobile, Alabama is. We go to Mobile, Alabama, about 2 hours down the I-10, not through Dat Tunnel. Probably a lot of traffic right now. Try the Bankhead Tunnel instead, folks. Quin Hillyer joins us. What up, Quin?
Hey, Corey, glad to be on with you, man.
Yep, glad to be with you. I often will bring up Mobile. I'm like, Mobile, Alabama basically has an interstate loop when I'm talking about like New Orleans interstate loop progress. You guys basically do that Mobile Bridge and that up I-65 thing that comes back down to downtown. Pretty cool.
Exactly. I'm glad you know about that. More people need to learn about that. It might ease the traffic in the tunnel until we finally get the bridge built. Yeah,
that's going to be nice. The new Jubilee Parkway, that's probably $1 billion plus bucks. The bridge will be $1 billion plus bucks. I don't, as a traveler on it, I guess not too often, a few times a year maybe. I wouldn't mind paying a toll. I have no problem with that, Quin. I mean, my car's on the road. I want to get there better, safer. I mean, it's great that the government can pull that off most of the time, but if I have to pay a toll for a first-class road to be built, so be it.
Well, we're just jealous, or at least other people in Alabama are jealous of Louisiana. I'm not jealous because I'm a Louisianan too, and I'm there as often as I can get over there. But jealous of all the roads y'all have gotten built, especially since Katrina, without having to pay for it yourself.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's like, because of storms and the like. No, I would think some folks after a major storm in Alabama, as long as no vehicles were on it, are like, damn, the Jubilee Parkway is still there.
Hey, speaking of road ideas, you need to talk to Quentin Dastu, former state rep. I'll just put that in your ear, and then you can look into it. Okay, why? He's a big proponent. He's got a humdinger of an idea, but I'll just tease it like that.
For New Orleans or for Louisiana?
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder what it now. It's something just that no one else do you think's been talking about?
No, I don't think anybody's been talking about it a lot, that's for sure. Anyway, we can move on from there. I just love to tease with that. But
you can't fill us in, Quin, on what it is? It's not something that's publicly known, that he's mentioned publicly?
I've got great respect for Quentin Dastu, and I'll let him publicize his idea. But all right. You should check it out.
No, I'll check it out because I'm a big proponent of interstate loop. I mean, New Orleans, that Earhart Expressway was built right after you graduated from high school. You were in college, just getting out of college or so when they opened the Earhart Expressway, when they opened the West Bank Expressway. There's been the West Bank Expressway has not been, no extension of the UEP Long Bridge. The Earhart, no exits and entrances on it still to this day. So we haven't had a lot of progress in the last 30, 40 years, Quin. What would have been amazing, Quin? Think about this, like kind of pre our era. I'm 56. You're what, like 58, 59?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Pre us, we're little tots running around. We remember a little of it, but I mean, people that, in New Orleans in the 50s, 60s, 70s. I mean, in 1970, we had 1 million people in the metro. By 1980, we had 1.3 million, grew by 30%, 300,000 folks in the decade of the 70s. We're the same size today, 1.3 million is 1980, like totally stagnant, zero growth. Just that incredible period. And lastly, from like One Shell Square opening in 72 to about, 86, 87, about a 15-year period, 25 brand new high-rise skyscrapers, minimum 20 stories, 25 built, 25 hotels and high-rise buildings, office towers, oils and gas buildings. And then for 40 years, right when you were rolling through college, I was getting out of high school, the bottom fell out, and it's been a 40-year drought down here, essentially.
Pretty much. Although I've got to say that, a lot of the federal money that came in after Katrina ended up finally being put to some good use. And 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, toward the end of Mitch Landrieu's second term, I'm not saying it's all because of Landrieu or whatever, but just to establish the timeline, New Orleans is looking pretty good. It was looking as good as I've ever seen it. And we need to get back to that, because the last 4 years, the bottom started falling out again. And we can't let that happen.
No, you're so right. One thing, and I'm not trying to play the gloom and doom game, Quinn, but it's just such bad timing. Right after Katrina, there were so many private projects. We talk about all the public money, billions of $14 billion in levies. There were at least, I'm not kidding you, about 10 or 12 high-rise condo projects from the lakefront in Slidell to Metairie by Causeway and Jefferson Highway to a bunch in downtown New Orleans, all over the city, out by the lakefront West End, and none of them, maybe like one out of a dozen, were built. Just no private money. The bank money dried up. Any private investors, foreign investors that were like, let's roll into this North American city that is going to have a major recovery. We had a recession, and we didn't get literally billions in private money. And no one really talks or thinks about what that would have been. Just talk about dramatic change to a city.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, are they breaking ground on this bridge and New Jubilee Parkway in Mobile?
They're nowhere near breaking ground yet, although they are finally very close to formal final approval to do so after 25 years. Anyway, I do have to say, since this is a special Thursday night game, I'm changing the subject, but I got to get in a who dat. Guys, we got to win tonight, or else this season's down the tubes.
It pretty much. I mean, you fall, down below.
The difference between 3 and 4 and 2 and 5 is massive.
Yes, no, it is. It really is. It was bad enough losing last week. It'd be so nice to be 3-3 right now. But you're right. And then Atlanta or Tampa win. You're 2 behind. Yeah. And they're probably going to get grooving. One of them's going to start winning. Probably Tampa.
Well, I'm counting on you to pull them through, Corey.
I'm trying.
It's up to you.
I'm trying. Got the animals rallying at the house, all of that, the mojo.
Cool.
We'll see. Quin Hillyer's with us on a Thursday afternoon. You can join us as well. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480, 766-9480. Hey, Quinn, let's just get this one in real quick. Putin declares martial law on the Soviet, I guess, taken regions of Ukraine. And these Iranians on the ground, supposedly, in Crimea, teaching Russians how to operate these, the best way I can describe it, that Fiat 300 car? It's like it's the Fiat 300 of drones. It's the Yugo of drones. But still, they like a Yugo. It starts. You can drive it. You probably don't want to have
when Russia has to go to Iran.
Yep.
For Russia to modernize, that's pretty bad. And I can hear the Ukrainians have proved to be very tough people. They're here in martial law. They say, "Who's this guy, Marshall? Let's go kill him."
Yeah, exactly. No, you said a mouthful. Such desperation. It's just lobbing bombs. Now it's buying the crappiest, cheapest drones, kamikaze drones. It's like, yeah, because it probably can't return from where you launched it,
Yeah.
It's really pathetic. They're shooting down a bunch, but I don't know if the U.S. is wink, wink, keeping it secret or not, but I hear some generals, some military experts on different conservative, liberal political news outlets saying we really don't have a defense against these little devils. You know, there's just so many of them, and they're tiny. And
yeah,
but they seem to be shooting down some. But boy, Putin is it's desperation time the last month or so for him, huh?
It's total desperation time, and that becomes a very dangerous time for the whole world, because I don't think he has any regard for human life, whether no matter what nationality, including his own. All he wants is to be an emperor of as big a territory as he can, and he doesn't care if the territory doesn't have any human beings alive in it. So we've got a lot to worry about, but you know what? The single worst thing we can do is say, well, we're afraid that if he gets cornered, he'll strike out, and so therefore we need to ease up on him. No, if you ease up on him, then he just gets emboldened.
Yep.
He'll, you got to stay tough and just help the Ukrainian people protect themselves.
Yep. And the nuclear thing kind of has two sides to it. You can think of a conventional weapon either. I don't think it's going to be some major one, but something smaller, but that is still nuclear, which I don't think that's even going to happen. But then the thing that I think is the strongest possibility of happening of him hitting a nuclear power plant, coming right back with Quin Hillyer.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday. Dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. About 67 degrees, 22% humidity, absolutely incredible weather. Get outside and enjoy it on this Thursday afternoon. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Quin Hillyer's with us as well, conservative-leaning pundit. Quin Hillyer. Hey, Quin, you were throwing the football and playing baseball and all that when you were a tot, but you were also kind of what would be called, I guess, a nerdy kid, because when it was time to go to the clubhouse or go play tag or something, you might have said, not today, guys. I've got to go listen to the adults talk conservative politics. What got you hooked on politics? How old were you? And you've never let go of that. It's like the guy, that, man, he's been playing tennis since he was 12. He still plays tennis a few times a week. You've been doing this politics thing since you were like 12 or 15. Am I right?
Well, longer than that, but I've also been doing the sports longer than that, and I didn't miss any of those football or basketball games playing or watching. I can tell you that. But no, I grew up in a political house. My parents were both very active volunteers, and so especially with Dave Treen when he was making his 3 failed runs for Congress in the 1960s, and my mother pushed me around in a baby carriage door to door in 1964 campaigning for Dave Treen when I was about 5 months old. So I grew up with it. The people don't want to open the door for somebody campaigning, but when they see a little baby, they say, "Oh, let me."
Yeah.
So I was her door opener.
Yep. Quin Hillyer's with us.
I've been at it ever since.
Hey, Quin, were your parents Democrats, but just leaned?
They were Republicans back starting in the late, especially my dad starting in the late 50s.
There weren't many Republicans in Louisiana.
There were
back
less.
then.
When my dad registered as a Republican in Louisiana, there were less than 10,000 registered Republicans in the entire state.
I bet. No, because the Republicans were Democrats back then. I'm not all Democrats. There were left-leaning Democrats and there were right-leaning Democrats, but most folks were just registered Democrats, not Republican back then.
Yeah, and this was Republicans before Barry Goldwater opposed the Civil Rights Act. This was back when Jackie Robinson was an active Republican and when Martin Luther King Sr. was an active Republican. So this was there was nothing racial. This was because Republicans nationally said they stood at least a little more than Democrats for limited government.
Quin Hillyer's with us on the program. You can join us as well. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480, 766-9480. So, Quin, why the continued interest in politics, like through middle school, high school, college, and then making a career out of it, literally, but not as a politician?
I really am inspired by our system of government, and it made a big impression on me when I was 12 years old, and we celebrated the bicentennial of the Declaration of Independence. And people now don't remember, not a lot of people remember just what a big deal it was, just how nobody questioned the founding. This was one of the biggest celebrations this country has ever had for months and months leading into July 4th, 1976. People were talking about the bicentennial, looking forward to the bicentennial. It was a huge national thing. And so, I was just coming of age when I could start to really comprehend all this and what it meant. So I read the Declaration and it inspired me. The principles in it, I got it. And so I've loved this country ever since. And being as how I grew up in a house where my dad was an active volunteer, et cetera, I put the two and two together and said the way to keep loving this country is to participate and work for these principles that we believe in. So that's how.
Hey, let me ask you this, and it's kind of a strange question. You're obviously a conservative Republican. What percentage of your ideology or what you believe to be the true conservative Republican ideology, or what you'd like it to be, what percentage of it would need to be implemented for things to be really run smoothly in the United States? Is it 70% and 30% is Democrat and liberal ideology, or is it 99% and only 1% Democrat or liberal, or is that just too, I don't know, obtuse of a question where you can answer it rationally?
You can put percentages on it. I mean, obviously, I think if we get 100, I want 100% of what I believe, but the great thing about our system is we've all got to learn that we can't get 100%, and we need to relearn how important it is to get along with 70% or 60%. And the key thing is to realize that you're not so diametrically opposed that everything adds up to 100. It actually adds up to more than 100, because I can get 70% of what I want, and you can disagree with me
and still get 70% of what they want.
Yeah, because there's going to be 30 to 40% in the middle.
Total agreement.
Where we're not actually that opposed, where of the 70%, there's some that I care about a lot more, and that you might be nominally against it, but you don't really care that much, and so it's not that big a deal to you. And then there might be 10 or 20% that we find if we talk to each other, we had been talking past each other, we start talking to each other, and we find out we don't really disagree on that. It's all the associated stuff we disagree with. And so you can get over 100%, if that makes any sense. I mean, I can actually draw.
Yeah, no, I agree. I hear you. We've talked about it a lot, Quinn, just the opposing sides, how polarizing things are right now. I think the politicians benefit from that. They, lazy politicians make up problems that aren't real, get people mad about problems that aren't real. Because telling you what the problems are, Quinn, and then being like, you got to swallow hard so we can, solve this problem, or one step backwards to go too forward, that kind of stuff. People don't want to hear that. They just want, stuff that makes them feel good, and they run out and vote, and then the politician wins, and this cycle keeps repeating itself. That gets to be nauseating. You just mentioned something about things we all agree on. I don't know if it would be a new party or an ideology, but couldn't there be something that has a official name, if an umbrella it falls under, that are consensus, fully agreed upon Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative ideals that no one questions? Can't we have that and sort of work from there?
There used to be. I mean, when I talked about the celebration of the bicentennial, it was so easy for everybody to join in, because nobody questioned or maybe 2% of the people only questioned the central ideals of the Declaration. Nobody questioned that consent of the governed really meant something and was really important. Nobody questioned that these rights were unalienable. And now you actually have people that say that's all bogus, that the founding was bogus, that you've got to pay lip service to rule by the people, but really you got to let the experts run things, etc. You've got people that disagree with the basic founding principles, and that's scary, because those basic principles are meant to be universal. And we should look. I love reaching out to people that I don't ordinarily agree with. I had a column a month ago, the second column that I did in a row on the New Orleans crime problem, and I reached out to Jacques Morial. Jacques Morial and I don't agree on much anything, but he's a good dude. And I talked to him for 10 minutes and realized that there was a lot that we agreed on how to fight crime, even though he's not for necessarily keeping as many people behind bars as I would be. But it was amazing how fast we found areas of agreement just by talking to each other. And so, I'll put that in the story. We need to do more of that. Talk and listen to each other. We still have more in common than people realize.
Oh, no doubt. But again, for the politicians, that means getting along, and then it could be actual scrutinization of what they do. And is it easier to win re-election by doing that and giving the people what they want, or playing this game of, polarizing politics where I just point the finger at the other side and say they're evil? If you even
well, look, let me jump in. There was a good line I heard just last night. Mike Pence, the former vice president, was speaking at my alma mater, Georgetown University.
All right, hold that thought, Quinn. Hold the Mike Pence quote, because I'm gonna take a break in 10 seconds, and then we're gonna come back. Okay. So when we come back from the break, fill us in on the Mike Pence quote. Corey Johnson with you. Quin Hillyer's with us too. Don't move. We're coming right back.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Corey Johnson back at you. Quin Hillyer's with us. Quin, I'm guessing Pence's quote is, "I'm a blank." No, you're the blank.
No. Pence's quote was, "You can think somebody has really bad political ideas without assuming that they're a bad person." And that's sort of the point that we're making. And by the way, just as an aside, Pence has actually sort of lived up to that. He when he first ran for Congress way back in 1988, and he lost a couple of times, and he ran these really negative campaigns, and he felt guilty about it. And he apologized to the public for having, when his opponent attacked him, he attacked his opponent. And he came back in 2000 and ran again, and he said, I'm going to run a positive campaign. And every time he ran for Congress and won, he ran positive campaign. Then when he ran for governor of Indiana, he ran a positive campaign. Didn't mean he didn't disagree strongly with the
right,
with
but
the issues.
didn't go to the gutter with the tack ads and the like.
Yeah, he didn't do attack ads, especially on the other person. And if you think back when he ran for vice president, he was running with a very divisive guy in Trump. But Pence never, ever got personal attacking the other side. He was, a lot of times the vice president is the guy that plays the bad cop. Nixon got Spiro Agnew to be the attack dog. Well, in this case, the vice presidential candidate was the good cop. But that was because that's what Pence really believes in. And, he's a fighter on issues, but he doesn't make it personal. We all need to do that a little better in politics. Now, if the other guy shows himself to be a bad guy, if he lies to you, if he goes back on his word, if he takes a cheap shot, personal, then maybe they're a bad person too. But you shouldn't assume it at the start just because you disagree with them.
Quin Hillyer's with us for a few more minutes. Hey, Quin, we got about 5 minutes. I probably have like 5 questions. Can we go into rapid fire mode?
We can go into rapid fire mode, and then, just go. Go ahead.
All right. Do you like Bill Maher's show at all?
Never watched it.
You should probably watch it. because he is liberal and he leans left, but he is hypercritical of. He's kind of like you with the populist Trump thing. You're not a big fan of it at all, and it's full-blown conservative Republican. He's sort of like that with the liberals. And I actually wrote down a list of things he said, and I specifically wanted to ask you, and I'll ask Ellis next week about it. He's like, people like Trump emerge and get votes because liberals put up absurd ideas like socialism, identity politics, victimhood, oversensitivity, cancel culture, white self-loathing, forcing complicated ideas about race and sex upon kids too young to understand it. It's like folks just see that and go, I want to vote the opposite of that.
Well, he's not the only one saying it. Look, I get the impression from a few interactions I've had with James Carville, the great Louisiana-based political consultant, that James doesn't like me very much, but it doesn't keep me from saying that James Carville knows his stuff.
Yep.
James Carville has, for a couple of years, been saying that Democrats and the left have got to stop this woke stuff, exactly the stuff that Maher, I can't even say
Maher. Yeah, no, you're right. He's right on the money, and you're right. I'm not a big fan of him. Personal reason, I think he's kind of rude personally, just one-on-one, but you're right. I think Democrats should embrace what he says.
Identity politics is dividing us, and we should look at what we have in common as humans, rather than get in every little camp. Well, I'm a
Well, no, and you know what? It's funny. I'm fade into this Scalise thing. Lied or not? Said this, didn't. I don't care. I don't need explanation on it, defending it or attacking it. My point, Quinn, it doesn't move the needle. There's not a human being in America going, oh, man, I'm going to go Democrat now. And there's not somebody who's a Democrat going, well, Scalise was trying to do this, I'm going to go Republican. No, Democrats go, I told you so. Republicans go, I don't care. It doesn't mean anything. Am I right?
Look, you're talking about him being in the thing with Pelosi there?
Yeah. I mean, Democrats say, I told you so, and Republicans say, I don't see anything or care.
Well, actually, I think everybody's missing the point there. The good thing is Scalise was there trying to do something good. He was working with the other side in a crisis.
Oh, no, that was good. That was like Katrina. Politics didn't matter. When the you-know-what's hitting the fan, Quinn, politics don't matter.
Yeah. Well, exactly, and Scalise was stepping up to the plate, and I give him credit for that. So, as was Mike Pence, because there was Nancy Pelosi on the phone with Mike Pence during that Capitol riot, saying, "How do we get out of this?" So,
Trump's going to testify for?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's sort of a circus if they have him testify. I don't know. Look. Here, let's leave it with this, since I've been on my horse about trying to reach out to the other side. Let's each of us make an effort to listen and find something that the other side says that we agree with.
Wow. That is asking so much from extremists.
Once a week.
That is
once a week.
Extremists are laughing at you. Sadly, you are 110% right, and the hardcore left and the hardcore right are like, the other side has nothing beneficial. What are you talking about, Quinn? They have nothing to offer me. That's brilliant, Quinn. I don't know if that's going to stick, though. Let's pick it up on that maybe next week, and we'll try to drag Ellis back into this.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Check him out online, Quin Hillyer, Quinn with one N, Hillyer, Hillyer, QuinHillyer.com. 5 o'clock power hour is now.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on our line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
It seems today that all you see is violence
right,
and movie
Crescent City and beyond. This theme song to me is a warning sign. Hey, Corey, you plop down on the sofa. You just watched the last 15 minutes of a Family Guy episode. Don't get suckered into this. And then I've heard the theme a couple more times. I'm like, okay, dude, an hour, get up and go do something. I have to turn off the TV. Family Guy's pretty good. I mean, you can watch it for 5 minutes. You're going to laugh a few times. Lots of jokes. Pretty creative and funny and smart, too. I don't know if I can sit here and watch, like, episode after episode of this, but I find that Archer cartoon's pretty good. Have you checked out Archer, Jason? It's pretty funny. It's pretty smart and creative. Anyway, maybe a little more R-rated. Family Guy's kind of PG+. Hey, it's a Thursday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock power hour brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating. When the weather's like this weekend's going to be sunny. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Might hit 80 degrees. It literally is perfect painting weather. You can get all the supplies, everything you need to prime and, prep your house, prime it, get the paint, brushes, everything. Everything you need at Helm Paint and Decorating. I called them up. I went out there. I talked to Christy Helm. She helped me pick a color. Ronnie and Joey Helm with what line of Benjamin Moore paint to use. Went with the Regal Select line. Has a lifetime warranty. Doesn't even need primer. I could have gone 2 coats of that and done. Instead, I used a high-end, watertight seal Benjamin Moore primer. 2 coats of that Regal Select. Still costing pennies on the dollar compared to these so-called totally unnecessary, hyper expensive, just a ripoff. I think these coatings you hear about, these cartoon name coating companies, it's a joke. It's an elastomeric paint. It is paint. It's elastomeric paint. There's nothing revolutionary about it. It's just expensive. What those coating companies really are, and I'm not kidding you, the world's most expensive home painting company. If you want to pay 2, 3, 4 times what it'll cost you to paint your house compared if you went to Helm Paint and Decorating, go with these fly-by-night, these kind of newcomers, these coating companies. Or go with the company that you know and trust, locals like us, been around for over 50 years in Metro New Orleans. Native New Orleanians, official New Orleanians that know when it's time to paint, there's only one place. Do it once, do it right. They will steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating. No, I love those guys. Been going to those guys for decades, ever since I was an adult and had a first painting project. Where else would I go? So helpful, the best stuff, doing you right. 7 locations, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, Hammond. Free 2-hour delivery anywhere in Metro New Orleans. Pick your colors online. Benjamin Moore, thousands of colors. Helm Paint and Decorating's got you covered. No pun intended, or maybe there's a pun intended. Yeah, when the temperatures are like today and right now, it's about 67, 22% humidity. That's ridiculous. I'm going to have to drop some coals tonight and grill a steak or some chicken or something. Might have to do the barbecue sauce and little chicken drumettes maybe. Because that's kind of a high-maintenance grilling thing, flipping the wings, watching the flaming up, got to move them around. But when it's not hot, it's 67 and 22% humidity. Who minds, quote, manning the grill? I'll work the grill because I'm not sweating over the grill. No, I might drop some coals tonight because It's just nice outside. The mayor's nonprofit, Forward Together NOLA, to return $1 million+ in city funds to the city. The nonprofit will shut down. There goes LaToya the Destroyer's post 15 Minutes of Fame gig. Sean Randolph joined us on the program a few weeks ago. He says cooperating with the feds, authorities, all kind of deviant behavior. He's cooperating. The court ordered him to stop acting as the head of this nonprofit, stay away from any money or checking accounts, and take down the website you put up. Now, the mayor set up a nonprofit, couldn't get people to donate to it, pulled $1 million+ of city money, Wisner Trust money, steered it to her nonprofit. The New Orleans City Council, somebody on the council got wind of it. Someone turned in the mayor to someone on the council. The council turned to Ed Michel, the inspector general. And the rest is history. Anyway, this nonprofit shutting down, the $1 million+ bucks taken from the city will go back to the city. That's all good news. No, transparency, exposure, people stepping up, coming forward, exposing these jokers. It's funny listening to naysayers like on the Pontalba apartment. Who shoots all this video? Who's stalking the mayor? Who goes through hundreds of hours of video? It just sounds so outlandish when it's thrown out that way, but anyone with half a brain that just thinks about it, the sizzle has nothing to it. I mean, before you can even take in the sentence, you realize how flawed these concepts are. Who has the cameras? Who's following the mayor around? Who's stalking the mayor? Nobody. The camera's mounted right by the mayor's door. And it's ironical because the camera comes from the French Market Corporation. The French Market Corporation has about a dozen board members that Mayor Cantrell appointed. It's her board. It is her operation. The French Market Corporation controls the Pontalba apartments are under the French Market Corporation's purview. It's their cameras that busted the mayor at their apartment, at the city-owned apartment. That is not for the mayor to use for personal use. It never has been. It's not her apartment. Her toothbrush isn't supposed to be there. Her bed linens aren't supposed to be on the bed. Her clothes aren't supposed to be in the closet. Her soap's not supposed to be in the shower. Her shampoo. It's not her apartment. Fell asleep, worked late, fell asleep there. That's one thing. But, hey, does Oliver Thomas get to use it next week? And then the week after that, Joe Giarrusso gets dibs on it? I mean, it's absurd. No, but why all the who's stalking the mayor, all these cameras? The cameras are mounted to the Pontalba apartments right by her door. All public access to those cameras. They run 24/7. Who goes through hundreds of hours of video? Okay, they're hundreds of hours of video. That's about 23 days of video. Who goes through it? Real journalists trying to find out if the mayor lives there. Hey, reportedly, we're getting rumors the mayor lives at this apartment. Hey, here's a camera we can look at from the city. Have some interns. I mean, do you have a camera at your house? I've got, crime cameras, whatever. Alarm, cameras. At my house, about 6 of them. I could go on my phone right now and pull them up. They're recording all the time. I can fast forward. I've done that. I don't remember leaving the fence open. Who was that? Oh, wow, that was the, lawn guy left the gate open. I can watch the video. Who goes through hundreds of hours of video? No one's watching hundreds of hours of video. That would take hundreds of hours. But a few people could even be like interns. Fast forward through this for the next hour. You could go through days and days of video. Days and days in an hour by fast forwarding 10, 20, 30, 40 times and only stopping when a human being pops up. They probably missed the mayor a few times, if anything. There's probably a few times the mayor was in some video and they even missed her going in and out of the building. So this who watches all the video, journalists and their interns do, and it's not watching hundreds of hours. It's fast forwarding and stopping only when people are popping in and out of that specific apartment. And then who stalks and shoots all this video? No one. It's the mayor's people's video. I don't know what to tell you. It's the French Market Corporation's video. No, it's exactly like that. Now, folks that question like the IG or Raphael Goyeneche or defend the mayor when the actions are just so overt. No, you have to question those people. What are their motives? You know, it's always like follow the money, follow the motives. What's their agenda? Boy, Katie's right now would be a good agenda for you. Get to Katie's in Mid-City. Make it part of your agenda. Old school, New Orleans style, bunch of New Orleans characters, checking out a little New Orleans Saints football. As New Orleans as it gets, Katie's tonight in Mid-City.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal.
Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region, with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris
The
Road.
lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Your New Orleans Saints kick off in a couple of hours on Amazon Prime. It's not on regular television. You better get that straight or you'll be left out in the cold. Saints are getting a couple and a half. Arizona favored by 2.5 at home. Really a must win. Kind of, huh? Both teams are 2-4. 2-5 is just too deep of a hole to climb out of. Already 1/3 of the Saints season in the books. About 35% of the Saints season in the books. Got to do a lot better the next 2/3. 2-4. 11 games left. I mean, 2-4. 11 left. You got to go 8-3 at the worst. Like 8-3 at the worst. A 110% total turnaround. Look, predicting what the Saints are going to do, winning and losing, is tough. But that's why I was so amazed, and it was so telling. I forget if it was 25 or 26 sports media members locally that cover the Saints beat. All different kind of folks, radio, television, newspaper, internet, whatever, covering the Saints, walkie-talkie, megaphone, whatever. It's 25 or 26 people polled. Not one of them had the Saints with a losing record. I guarantee you, any team like the Saints that has some question marks at quarterback, has a new head coach, was 500 with the old head coach, somewhere in America, one of 25 media members, 4% of those polled, somebody's going to have a losing record for the team. It seems like out of 25, there should have been like 3, one or two 7-10s. Maybe 1 or 2, 8-9s. More than 1 9-8. Ed Daniels was the only person that had the Saints not winning double digits. Every other media member had the Saints winning double digits and a playoff team. Every media member. That's just sort of, it's not, it is mind-boggling, but it just yells, you're not getting fair, objective coverage. It's appeasing and placating the teams and the fans, like a double whammy of not doing the job. Be journalists. I'm an adult. I can take the truth. I can handle Pillgate or Bountygate. I can handle Super Bowl wins. I don't need it to be blown up too big or deflated. Just tell it like it is. Just tell it like it is. Now, that just kind of blows me away. You got 10 members of that 25 or 26 saying 10 wins, like 11 that said 11 wins. You had like 5 with 12 and 5. That's what you're picking the Saints? And you do this for a living? Somebody had 13 wins. I mean, just insane. I mean, if you've got 12 and 5 and 13, you better have someone that's got 5 and 13 or 6 and 12 or whatever, 6 and 11, 5 and 12, whatever it is. You better have the opposite of that. Now, I was a little nervous right then and there. I was like, okay, it's one of two things. It's either, man, it's a consensus. It's clear as day. The Saints have a winning team. There's no doubt about it. It's like this Pelican basketball team. That's a playoff team. There's no doubt about it. They snuck in the back door of the playoffs last year, and they're much improved. The Saints, 9-8 last year, didn't get in the playoffs, but they're much improved, and it's a consensus, and it's obvious, and anyone can see it. That's what that yells when 25 of, or whatever, 25 of 26 pick double-digit wins in playoffs. double-digit wins and playoffs, 25 of 26. Only Ed Daniels had them still winning season, 9-8. No one losing season for the Saints. I don't know what they're going to end up. Maybe they go on a big winning streak and have a winning season. But my God, when you have 25 media members covering the team, there's not one that has a different view than everyone else. It's just too much of a fraternity. And the only thing is, I don't really care. It's unimportant in the big thing. Who cares? I want the Saints to win. I want LSU to win. I want Tulane to win. Pelicans win. Who cares what I pick them as before the season starts? What you pick them as? Someone else, what their record is? Who cares? No, the real life stuff that's important, we don't keep record of it or track of it. We don't even know who the opponents are. The luxury items, the things that are entertainment, LSU football, the Saints, we know everything about them. We know all about the players. We're on top of it like white on rice. We know their opponents. We know their opponents' strengths and weaknesses, and any kind of, below very good is somebody's getting fired, heads a roll. It's got to be very good to excellence. Then you look at like New Orleans versus other cities or Louisiana versus other states. It's almost like we don't know who the competition is. We just claim that we're not even in that league with that competition. Texas, Florida. Come on, Corey. You're trying to compare New Orleans to Houston, Dallas, Atlanta. Come on, Corey. So we're not even some competition. We say we can't even compete with them. We're like acknowledging we're minor leagues. And then we don't even know the competition is like Austin or Nashville or Charlotte. And we have no idea because we don't keep score what the record is. I can tell you what it is. It's Mike Ditka-esque. It's the 1980 Saints. It's 1-15. It's Mike Ditka, 3-13. It's terrible. And Austin and Nashville, they're doing the 12-5 and 13-4 and going deep in the playoffs and going to Super Bowls and the like. That's what they're doing. That's the important stuff. We don't know who the competition is. We don't keep track. We don't keep score. We don't know the game. We don't have something telling us we're losing. And we really worry about Saints and LSU and all that stuff. No, it's priorities. I love Saints and LSU, but they're luxury items. They're entertainment. I want to see LSU strive in academics like they do athletics. I want to see the city of New Orleans do as well as the Saints. I was playing a golf course today in New Orleans. I play it all the time, Lakewood on the West Bank. They've got a good staff out there. They bust their butt. But I tell a friend of mine, I'm like, dude, Lakewood is what the greens fee is and the people that come out here. It's not a private country club. I kind of joke. I'm like, it's a bunch of Trout New Orleanians, that go out here and just, they're in our pay level. We're all kind of the same. It's like a middle class kind of place. It's mostly white, although they're black golfers too. But it's just a bunch of people that are kind of yatty New Orleanians and how they are with throwing trash out on the street. And my kid went to LSU and he's doing all right. And, just accepting mediocre education and trash on the street. That Lakewood gets like that. I get so irritated. I'm always putting sand in other people's divots and fixing ball marks on the green. I kind of want to tell the people, you're playing the course again next week. The course you're beating up and neglecting, leave it like you left it. And I just told a friend, I'm like, it replicates New Orleans. I mean, there's a pampas bush. Not 10 feet away is a garbage can. In the pampas bush are like 3 bottles of beer that aren't sold at Lakewood. So not only does this Trout dude not even throw the beer bottles in the garbage can, he's sneaking his own beer onto the course, not buying beer from Lakewood to save a few bucks, and then doesn't have the decency to throw his trash in the garbage can, throws it in a pampas bush right by the tee box. Out of sight, out of mind. It's like New Orleans, just throw the trash out in the street. No, I put sand in divots. I fix ball marks. I rake the trap. I don't drive the cart where it's not supposed to be. But I didn't pick up that guy's beer bottles. I'm not handling his trash. But I was like, no, this is sort of a dichotomy of New Orleans. Throw me something, mister. I want something free. That kind of mentality. Crazy. We've got to do better. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, TV audience, tomorrow, be there. Every day, 90 minutes of fun on television. Cox Channel 4 TV all over Louisiana. Spectrum Channel 333 television all over Louisiana. That's 4 to 5:30. On radio, 93.9 FM till 6 o'clock. Live streaming, CoreyTalks.com till 6. We're on YouTube, 4 to 6 o'clock. Plus, you can check out last month's program. Last hour, Quin Hillyer joined us, conservative-leaning pundit, columnist. So glad the Times-Picayune picked him up every Sunday. I mean, it's not a lot of, in New Orleans proper, especially New Orleans Parish. Jefferson's got a ton, so does the North Shore. But New Orleans, it's almost void of Republicans. Like almost MIA, don't exist. Almost void of Republicans, conservatives, any kind of elected official, any kind of viewpoint. Times-Picayune was smart. It was needed. So we had Quin Hillyer on last hour. You can check that out on YouTube or Anchor or iTunes, Spotify. What a fantastic day. Why don't you head to Fury's? They're open till 9 p.m. tonight. Get a to-go order or dine in. Gumbo, turtle soup, onion rings to start. The onion rings are amazing. A lost art. You order them, they're cutting up the onion, they're battering them up, they're dipping them in the flour, they're flash frying them to perfection right when you order them. Crispy, hot, wonderful onion rings at Fury's. And then, boy, the local seafood off the charts. Fresh, local seafood exclusively. They're open till 9 p.m. tonight. Fury's restaurant in Metairie. So good. You won't be disappointed. Hey, Jeff Dorson's with us again from the Humane Society of Louisiana. How you doing, Jeff?
I sure appreciate your Thursday afternoon. Our 5 minutes together always makes a difference. Your listeners are generous with their time and skills and their donations. So really, we're really always grateful for this time slot. Thank you.
No, my pleasure, Jeff. Are you kidding me? I got the easy part. You do the hard work, you know. You're grinding 7 days a week. Not a lot of pay for you. Not a lot of pay for the few staff members that get paid. A ton of volunteers. All donation driven. You're not receiving any kind of money from the city, the state, the government, nothing. It's all donations. You guys do a fantastic job. What's the latest and greatest? By the way, humanela.org is the website to donate, to see what they're about. humanela.org. You can check them out. They do a great job of updating their Facebook page at Humane Society of Louisiana. What's the latest and greatest, Jeff?
Well, thanks, Corey. Let me just explain who we are. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of similar sounding groups. None of them are related or affiliated, but they're all well-intentioned and do their best. So we're called the Humane Society of Louisiana because we try to respond to issues around the state as best we can. We were established in 1988, been around for 30-some years, 34 years, and our whole goal is actually to change the mindset and culture. And we do that through all our programs. We're trying to convince people that animals are worthwhile, that they suffer, that we cause them a lot of discomfort and pain. And can we reverse that and be kind to them? I mean, it's a simple philosophy that's been around for ages. It's not always implemented, and it's not always something that people are aware of. So our choices always affect animals. We're asking people to be kind, considerate, thoughtful in every interaction they have with animals, wildlife, domestic, reptiles, amphibians, whatever. Simply be kind.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, and yet it gets complicated because people don't always do that. They break the law. They're criminally neglectful. We work with sheriffs and police a lot. almost every day, instructing them how to do a crime scene involving animal abuse, to let us take the animal when somebody's arrested. When somebody passes away, who's going to go get the animals inside the apartment or house? We've done that many times. When somebody, gets arrested, who's going to take care of the guy's 4 dogs that he left behind? So complicated very quickly. So that's why we're always kind of on high alert when the calls come in.
Yep. And most folks just don't want to think about that, look the other way. Someone else will handle it. Blah, 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 blah. This is Louisiana. We're terrible at this stuff, aren't we, Jeff?
You know what? I love how you just put it out there. Yes. There's a reason why we're last in everything, including how we care for our animals. We got to do better, everybody. And there's room for me to do better. We've just got to raise our standards of attention and care, consciousness and thoughtfulness. Because look at our environment, polluted, litter. It reflects in our whole outlook and behavior. If we do better in those simple areas, I bet our whole outlook will change. We got to be kind and considerate to everything around us. And somehow in Louisiana, we missed that lesson.
Yep.
Everything's disposable. Everything can be left behind. Somebody else will pick up after us. It's not how life works.
Jeff Dorson's with us for a few minutes. Every week on a Thursday, we toss him a bone, pun intended. No, just a great group. Helping out cats and dogs, kittens, puppies, goats, horses, animals, treating them humanely because someone has to pick up the slack for us slacking here in Louisiana when it comes to humane treatment of animals. Thank God for Jeff Dorson and the Humane Society. Hey, what specific needs do you have right now, Jeff? Some animals somewhere, a dog that got hit by a car, needs some surgery. What's going on? What do you need?
Yeah, thank you. We always have animals that have been hit by cars late at night in the rural areas. There's nobody to call. We get the call. Join us. We have a veterinary emergency fund that we tap into all the time. It gets depleted. Make a donation today. Humane Society of Louisiana. I promise you, you'll feel better. You'll get 10 times the return because you don't have to do anything. I promise you, we'll go out late at night, make something happen, work with sheriffs and police, fire department. We'll be there on the scene. Just let us have the resources to get the job done. You can join us as a monthly donor, a one-time. Donate your car or vehicle. We'll use it or sell the proceeds and use it. Lots of ways to help. Join us as a volunteer. Are you an attorney? We can use you. We're in touch with DAs a lot. Don't drop this case. Try and press for high penalties. So I don't want to take all your time, but yes, we need community support because we love what we do. So just join us. Help us get it done.
HumaneLA.org. HumaneLA.org is the website. You can check them out on Facebook, Humane Society of Louisiana. There's even a toll-free number, 888-6-HUMANE, if you want to report animal cruelty or you see a neglected animal somewhere. It could be a emaciated horse or dog or cat or anything. 888-6-HUMANE. 888-6-HUMANE. Anything until next time, Jeff?
Perfect plug. Thank you for these 5 minutes. It makes a difference. We'll check in again next week with more specific animals that people can help immediately. So until then, may your week be great. And thank you again for everything you stand for, Corey. Keep telling the truth about it.
You're the man, Jeff. Thanks, brother.
Back at you.
That's Jeff Dorson, Humane Society of Louisiana. He's the man. HumaneLA.org. HumaneLA.org. Go to that website right now and just donate $5, $10. Get on a monthly thing that you can pop them every month, 10, 20, $50, whatever you can afford to do. I know a lot of you can give $100 every month and it won't affect you in the least bit, but boy, for the Humane Society of Louisiana, it affects them in a great way, a positive way. They can get so much done, and they only can get it done if you donate. HumaneLA.org. Go to their website and donate right now. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. They're hiring at their Elmwood facility, where right now they already have over 1,200 employees, over 80 acres. They're growing so much in Elmwood, they crossed Jefferson Highway over to Distributors Row, scooped up an entire city block, more warehousing, more manufacturing facilities. They're on the North Shore in Hammond. They're about to hire 450. They already have dozens and dozens of jobs available in Hammond. It's about to be 450 more. If you're looking for a new job, a career, Leitrim is the place. A culture of innovation, and they're looking for you. And overnight shifts, nighttime shifts, early morning, regular hours. They got you covered. Leitrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Leitrim spelled Laitram, Leitrim.com. What a glorious afternoon. I got to throw down some coals tonight. Got to do some grilling, man. It's 65, 66 degrees, 20-something% humidity. It's ridiculous. The killer weather continues. Not going to be quite as cold tomorrow morning as this morning or yesterday morning, and actually going to warm up a little over the weekend. We might hit 80, 81, 82, but lower humidity, lots of 60s and 70s, blue skies, no rain. 5th weekend in a row. I've never seen a stretch of this, like 35 days straight or so of basically blue skies, no rain, mild temperatures, not too cold, not too hot. Just glorious weather continuing. Amazing. Hey, some good news. The mayor's nonprofit, this Forever Together NOLA nonprofit the mayor's setting up, I think setting up for herself after her second term's up, whenever that might be, recall, or after the original term is up. She'll go work for this nonprofit, pulling $200, $300, $400 a year, doing nothing, taking the majority of the nonprofit's money. She's already kind of proven that by pulling over $1 million of City of New Orleans money, Wisner Trust money, $1 million+ bucks, steering it to that nonprofit. Thank goodness someone within the mayor's office, someone with that nonprofit, someone, maybe it was Sean Randolph, maybe it was someone else. Maybe Sean Randolph's a good guy. Maybe Sean Randolph's part of the problem. Doesn't matter. A judge ordered him out. Judge ordered the checking account frozen. Judge said, take down the website. The remaining folks that claim to be on this nonprofit board, this mayor's Forward Together NOLA, they say the $1 million+ bucks they got from the Wisner Foundation, they plan on returning that to the city, and they're shutting down the mayor's nonprofit. So all that's good news. No, the mayor diverting money from the Wisner Fund, sent up a flag. Someone, was making the call on that, calling somebody and letting them know. And then the council asked the IG to look into it, and the rest is history. The city and the mayor have a new plan for the Municipal Auditorium. This one's actually sort of legit. They got public input. They want to hire an outside firm to kind of add to what they're already talking about. It's not retrofitting City Hall, banging a square peg in a round hole. It's maximizing the building for 2022, maybe part of it being a museum, part of it still being a venue for concerts and the like, something that complements Congo Square, Treme neighborhood, Armstrong Park, the French Quarter, an asset. They got to get going because that FEMA money, they got to at least have, a few million going into the building that you can physically see so they don't lose that nearly $40 million bucks. They're talking about just the basics right now, repairing the roof, new doors and windows, demolishing anything that's all screwed up, new electrical, plumbing, HVAC, air conditioning, heating. That's tens of millions of bucks right there. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Hey, Lebanon's Cafe, with this weather, outdoor dining, under the green awning, under the oak trees on the streetcar line. My God, it doesn't get more New Orleans than that. Shish kebab, lamb chops, Middle Eastern sides. Outdoor dining tonight. Dinner at Lebanon's Cafe.
Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our Top Bench and More exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
You know, body language tells you a lot about what a person's thinking. For instance, that means she has an interest in the finer things in life.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
That means she also wants a little fun in her life, but only with the right man.
Corey Johnson.
Now she's pouring a Colt 45, and we all know what that means.
Yeah, you right.
Mind if I join you?
You must have read my mind.
Something like that.
The power of Colt 45. It works every time.
It works 60% of the time, 100% of the time. Old Colt 45 brand malt liquor. This looks like a water bottle, but it's actually full of Colt 45 brand malt liquor. I like it warm, by the way, room temperature. Nothing like a little Colt to give you that jolt. Colt 45 brand malt liquor. A proud sponsor of the Neutral Ground. Not at all. Colt 45 brand malt liquor is not a sponsor of the Neutral Ground. We used to drink Mickey's, whatever, those little barrel things, that malt liquor garbage. That was terrible. I forgot what it was called. It wasn't Mickey's beer. It wasn't called Mickey's malt liquor. But it was Mickey's, a little green glass bottle, looked like a little barrel. What's it called? No, nothing else, like a Barks. Not root beer, just Barks. Doesn't tell you what it is. It has no category it falls under.
Malt liquor.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. What is it? Fine malt liquor. That's kind of like a faux diamond, real faux diamond. Fine malt liquor. Does that go into the real faux diamond category? These are real fake diamonds, not those real kind. These are real fakes. Fine malt liquor. Jeez, that's just such an oxymoron. Fine malt liquor. That's brilliant. That is genius. It really is. Some of the best gristle you can eat. Yes, good gristle. Mickey's fine malt liquor. Now, I think, Jason, we gotta watch being critical. I don't want to drink a Mickey's or a Colt 45 at all. But pull up a Beta Purple Haze. I think that's malt liquor. Yes, because these things fall into different alcohol levels, and they change what they're called. I forget what it is, but Purple Haze, I think somewhere on the label it says malt liquor. I'm serious. I don't think it's beer because of the alcohol content. Does it say it anywhere on there that Purple Haze is? It doesn't say beer though, does it?
It says it's a beer. It doesn't say it's made with wheat malts, but it doesn't say it's a malt.
I think it is.
It says it's a lager.
Yep. Anyway, does it tell you the alcohol percent? It's like 9 something or something like that.
Purple Haze, I think like
4.
No.
No.
4.2.
Really? That's it? 4.2 is like everything, I thought. I thought all those were like way jacked up. I mean, that's what we are, a 4.2 or whatever. That has to be wrong. Actually, wait. 4.2 is the beer you get like in Alabama and Florida. We're 6-point beer. We're 6% alcohol. You remember the 4.2 is the garbage you got out of state? You have to bring your own beer. That must be a Purple Haze that's sold somewhere else, like out of state. Their general bottle, not a local one. I thought Purple Haze was like 8.9, but I'm pretty sure, Jason, I don't know, maybe you can look it up. Different levels of alcohol. It stops being beer. It becomes malt liquor. It ceases being malt liquor. It becomes this. I forget what the percentages are and what it is. It's similar to like ice cream and custard. I think like when the butterfat content gets to like 15, 18%, it is no longer considered ice cream and it's considered custard because the fat content so high. And I mean, you're eating gelato, ice cream, custard. They all, you think it's all ice cream. Whatever. Unimportant information in the world of life. Corey Johnson with you. You know who's got all those items? Ice cream, Abita, all of it. Rouse's Markets. Best quality, best price, best selection. I made a mistake, Jason, at a Rouse's. I went to the ice cream thing. You got all different levels, all different price points. You can see where the higher end expensive ice cream is. So I saw this no-name one that I was like, and it was like $7.99, a pint or whatever. So I was like, I got lured in like the sucker with the wine. This wine's $15.99. It must be better than the $12.99 bottle. And then some connoisseur will tell you, no, the $12.99 is better than the $15. Anyway, I bought this like $8 pint of ice cream. I get home. Right when I'm scooping it, spooning it out of the bowl, it just had this weird texture. And then I take a bite out. I'm like, I spit it back out. And I look, and it's keto or something. No sugar in ice cream. That goes in the category of, faux diamond, fine malt liquor, no sugar in ice cream. What's the point of that? That is the silliest thing I've ever heard of. I want ice cream with sugar. I want sugar in my ice cream. That's like one of the few ingredients of ice cream. It's cream, it's sugar. Come on. Jeez, sugar. I threw the whole thing away. I'm not like, maybe I'll eat it later. Maybe I'll be desperate and want it. Took one more bite out. I was like, this is horrible. Keto ice cream. It's like, what a mistake. I got suckered in. I bought the more expensive stuff. Anyway, Rouse's Markets has everything you need. And those Rouse's labeled items like the extra virgin olive oil from Italy I've been buying, fantastic for like half the price. How can you complain about that? Best quality, best price, best selection. There's a Rouse's Market near you on the way home from work. You probably pass 2 or 3 of them in your neighborhood, right next door to your neighborhood, Rouse's Markets. Hey, tomorrow, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. I like that. Fletcher Mackel will join us Fridays with Fletch. Get a little update on Saints and LSU and Tulane and Pels, all that good stuff. It'll be a look back on tonight's Saints game. I'll look forward to tomorrow night's Pels game. I'll look forward to Saturday afternoon's Tulane and LSU game. Both are at 2:30, both at home. Tulane's at Yelman taking on Memphis. Homecoming. That one's on ESPN2, nationwide television audience. LSU, 26th ranked. Tulane's 25th ranked. First time in the top 25 in 25 years. They're taking on 7-0, 7th ranked Ole Miss. 2:30 kickoff Saturday from Tiger Stadium. That one is on CBS, a nationwide television audience. Hey, the Louisiana Bond Commission, as expected, gave final approval to that $45 million in financing for the Sewage and Water Board power plant, which is already under construction. I live right near there. Basically the corner of Claiborne's and Monticello, right at the parish line. They've got the fence up, a wooden fence. Then they've got a chain link with a kind of a wrap on it that has the Sewage and Water Board logo on it. No, they're building that $45 million power plant. As a matter of fact, they've been doing it for about the last 6 months. But officially, the Bond Commission signed off on it. That's the Jeff Landry anti-abortion law power plant. That was so amazing. New Orleans officials. I told DA Jason Williams this. I'm like, Jason, don't say you're not going to prosecute, or enforce the abortion law in New Orleans. Just do it. If that's what you want to do, just do that. But don't publicly announce it, because you'll get, Jeff Landry's panties in a wad, and he'll do something dopey like New Orleans is threatening to. They haven't done anything, but they're threatening to not follow the law. So we're going to keep the money for the Sewage and Water Board power plant project from them. Just illogical, crazy. By the way, illogical and crazy Jeff Landry running for governor officially. That's fantastic. Hey, this program on radio, television, intranet device, YouTube, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. Right on the corner, right on the price. The Lamarck Automotive Complex on the car corner, Williams Boulevard and I-10. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. I'm not kidding you. The big store, Lamarck Ford by the lake in Kenner. Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, Harahan, Jefferson Highway by the river. Truly bridging the gap. Every day this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Ronnie Lamarck just does not slow down, never stops. It's unbelievable. Hey, your New Orleans Saints are going at it in about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, 7:15, 7:20. It's on Amazon Prime Video. And it's free if you don't subscribe. They're giving it away tonight. What's that, Blue Boy? Checking out a little Saints on the intranet device. You're right, buddy. What else? Thank Jason and thank everyone for watching and listening. Yep, I hear that. Thank Quin Hillyer for joining us. And what else, buddy? Join us tomorrow, 93.9 FM, New Orleans. You're right, Blue Boy. Great weather. You're ready to eat dinner and go for a walk. I hear you, buddy. Let's do it. See you tomorrow.